Hello mis amigos and welcome to my new YouTube channel. I am so excited but also so nervous. This is my first video ever, and as you already know, I'm gonna be answering your most asked questions from Instagram and TikTok regarding how I get to travel this much, how to move countries, how I did it, languages, and all that while we drink my famous strawberry matcha that's already melted. I'm going to be reading all the questions from my laptop because I'm filming with my phone. And please subscribe and like it if you do. Alright, before getting into it, let me tell you a bit more about me. My name is Reem. I was born and raised in Spain, but I'm originally North African. I consider myself a part-time traveler. I can't do it full-time yet, but I'd love to at some point. And if not, it's okay. I'm into wellness, traveling, lifestyle, adventure, fashion. I'm a bit into everything. I can't decide a niche. So my YouTube is also going to be a reflection of that. And yeah, let's get started. Let me try the matcha first. Sorry, it's really good. Okay, my first and most asked question is, how did you move to Maldives? How did I move to Maldives? For those who don't know, I moved to the Maldives or Maldives at the age of 21, right after finishing uni, and I lived there for almost a year, and I was able to do that with a job there. So I got hired by a resort in the Maldives as a language specialist and island host with everything covered, like tickets and housing included, and I signed a contract and I moved there for almost a year. People also ask me, how is life in the Maldives? Like, is it worth it? Is it boring? Is it fun? And it really depends on the type of person that you are. If you're really outgoing and you can't stand being in like very small places, then it's definitely not the place for you. But if you're someone who's very calm and into nature, you like small spaces and like routine, and you're not very social, then yes, it is the place for you. For me, I liked it at first, but then it just became very repetitive. So I left before finishing my contract. But I'm very thankful and grateful that I got to live there, because the things that I experienced there, I could have never done on my own. Like, I was able to become a certified diver. I was able to dive with sharks and jet ski with dolphins. Like, it was a crazy lifestyle and a very fun one, but it was also very tiring because for the first 5 months or so, I had to work 10 hours a day, 6 days a week, which is something that people fail to tell you when they move to these Asian countries or even in South America. Like, a lot of companies, their conditions are not the best and the salary isn't like the highest either. In my case, it was not bad because I was getting paid around $1,500 a month, like USD, which is not bad for the Maldives, and it's like the average salary there, I think, so it's not bad. Second question is, how can you speak so many languages? For those who don't know, again, I speak 5 languages. So I speak Spanish, that's my first language. I speak Darija, which is the North African dialect. I speak French, I speak English, Italian, and like Arabic, classic Arabic. And when you're like a child of immigrants, it's kind of like how you grow up. You grow up speaking 2 or 3 languages at home. So I think it's the norm for a lot of immigrants, maybe not 5, but definitely 3 or 4. Spanish, I know because I'm Spanish. English, I learned at school like everyone else. Darija, like the North African dialect, I learned from my parents. French, I learned when I started traveling to France, like with my parents, like every couple of years. We'd go to France for, a few weeks. And then I chose French as like a 3rd language in school. So that's how I learned it. Italian, I took a course in uni that lasted around 2 months because then COVID hit. But that was like enough for me to like learn the base of Italian, the basics. And then Arabic, I learned during the weekends at the mosque in Madrid. What else? I tried learning Chinese as well, but that didn't work out well because again, COVID hit and I completely forgot about everything I learned, but I might get back to it one day. And I might also post a video soon of like tips to learn or become fluent in like any language except Chinese. I feel like Chinese is really hard, and I don't know if my tips would apply to Chinese, but every other language, I think yes. All right, next question is, do you recommend living in Australia? I've lived in Australia for 2 years, more than 2 years actually, I think like 2 years and a half. And after 2 years and a half in Australia, I want to go back. Like that's how good life is in Australia. I want to go back because I've never been anywhere with such a good balance between work and personal life and like leisure. Salaries are good. You can sustain yourself easily if you don't have like a lot of responsibilities. It's a beautiful country. It's less racist than Europe. Sorry, not sorry. And there's so much to discover. It's beautiful, and I always recommend to people to step out of their comfort zone from time to time. And moving to a different country is a great way to do that. Obviously, it's not going to be always easy, and you're going to struggle at first because you don't just land in Australia and then you have like 10 job offers. No, you have to go look for it. It's not easy to access housing. There's a lot of like things that are not easy to get there, but once you do get them, life is good. Like once you do get them, it's good. Once you make friends, once you know the people, it's amazing. It's beautiful. I love it. And I'm gonna move back to Australia probably. The only bad thing about Australia is that it's just at the other side of the world. Like it's so freaking far away, and it breaks my heart when I move so far away from my family. But I just like adventure so much. I don't know. I just really like traveling and moving countries, and I'm not gonna stop until I get married or something. I don't know. All right, the next question is, how can you afford traveling this much? So this is a very asked question as well. It's because I get jobs wherever I go. Like when I started traveling Europe at the age of 18, 20, I got a job during the summer in Spain, and then I saved up and traveled to Europe with that. And then when I wanted to travel to the Maldives, I realized I couldn't afford it. I got a job there, and then whenever I like move to a country, I make sure I travel to like the nearest countries or the cheapest countries around it. So when I was in Maldives, I visited Sri Lanka and Singapore because the tickets were like $100. Whereas if I had done that from Spain, the ticket would be like 5 times the price. Same goes with Australia. When I moved there, I made sure to visit Bali because it's, you know, cheaper from Australia, or Thailand. I even made sure to travel throughout Australia. I even crossed the Australian continent in under 3 days on a train, guys. This is a story that I tell everyone because it sounds pretty cool. I'll tell you more about it another time though. What inspires you the most? That's a very good question. Definitely my parents, that's number one, because they came from a place where they lacked resources, and they grew and flourished and built this life, because I didn't build this. This is all my parents. I haven't built anything yet. I'm trying though. So definitely my parents, they inspire me to be ambitious and to try, to be hardworking, although I'm not always hardworking, but yeah, they inspire me a lot. And traveling, of course. Traveling inspires me a lot. I just love, like, wherever I go, seeing a new city, walking its streets, like the architecture, just like trying new food and talking to new people just brings me so much joy and inspiration. I don't know how to describe it. I just love it. Like, I would love to visit like 10 countries a year or so. Yeah, traveling inspires me a lot. Right, next question. How is life in Spain? I've lived in Spain my whole life, so I hope this is not a biased opinion. Life in Spain is super good when you see it from the outside, or when you have money, of course, like everywhere else. But for an average Spanish person, life in Spain is not that cool because people struggle to pay for rent, groceries, and to make a living. So in my case, thankfully, I'm able to live with my parents and, you know, have my basic necessities covered. But for someone who has to do all this on their own, and for someone who has other responsibilities, it's just not as easy as it looks. I feel like it's easier in places like Australia. Like, for example, in Madrid, I wouldn't be able to rent an apartment with just one person with a Spanish salary while traveling or like while saving up. That's impossible in Madrid, but that's something I was able to do in Melbourne, Australia. Like I was able to land a job with a good paying salary, rent an apartment with just one person in the city and travel. That's something that's really hard to do in Madrid. It's not impossible, but it's definitely hard. But yeah, if you have a good salary, if you're a digital nomad, then yes, life is pretty good in Spain. Alright, next question is, what can we expect to see on your channel? In my channel, I feel like my channel is going to be a reflection of me. Like one day I might show you my walk-in closet, and then the next day I'm telling you tips on how to learn languages. And then the next day will be about self-care and a hair care routine. But mostly I want it to be about life and lifestyle, I guess, and travels. Like I'll show you around my city, Madrid. I'll show you around my countries, Spain and Morocco. But I'll also show you how I move countries because I'm probably going to move somewhere else soon. I want to show you everything, I guess, while still staying private as I can. And the last question, and maybe like the hardest one to answer, is Morocco or Spain? To be honest, I can't choose. Like a year ago, I thought definitely Morocco, because you know, wherever you grow up, you kind of just want to go away sometimes when when you grow up with like an identity crisis and you grow up surrounded by people that are very different from you. But now that I've seen how life in Morocco is, which is pretty cool, there's so many things that I love about both countries, but there's also so many things that I strongly dislike about both countries. So I guess 50-50. If I could, I'd spend half of my year in Spain and the other half in Morocco, but I can't because I want to travel the whole world. So I'm not going to do that yet. But yeah, this is all for today, I guess. If I get any more questions, I'll continue tomorrow. Oh, okay, I was reading the questions and I skipped a few, sorry. I need to tell you more about the process of moving to Australia. Someone asked if I had moved with an agency, and no, I haven't. I'm not too sure how agencies work, but if they charge you more than what the visa costs, then you shouldn't go with them, because moving to Australia with a work and holiday visa, you really don't need to pay anything apart from the visa until you get there. Then of course you'll need to pay for housing and whatever, but I did it all on my own. I just made sure that I had all the documents, like English proficiency or like your English diploma, which could be like an IELTS or a TOEFL, and also like prove that you have enough funds. Basically, you just need to make sure that you have all the documents before you apply, so it takes less time. And once you apply, it'll take like either a few weeks or a couple of months, so always apply a few months in advance. And then when you get there, you should have like a hotel or a hostel booked for at least 10 days, like minimum. I booked a hotel for 10 days and it was not enough, and I couldn't afford to pay more nights at the hotel because once you get there, the prices are outrageous. So I went to a hostel instead for 1 more week. So I'd say 10-15 days booked already is good for you to just settle in, find a job, find a house or a room. A house is pretty hard to find, but like a room. And then as soon as you get there, it's also very important to get your tax file number, which you can also do online. And people have also asked me how much money did I have in my bank account, like saved, when I moved to Australia. I think I had around 3,000 euros. So I didn't spend it all. I spent maybe around 1,500 euros on the first month because I found a studio, and so I had to pay for the bond and stuff. But yeah, you have all the information in their immigration website, Australian immigration. I'll leave it in the box below or something. You know what? I'm gonna leave all the information about moving to Australia down in the box. And the last question is about travel advice. I book my flights with a lot of flexibility. I know that most people need to tell their company when they're traveling, but I just do it the other way around. Even if I'm working with a company, I'll find the cheapest flights. If you're flexible, you'll always find cheaper options. I'll book it like maybe 4, 5, 6 months in advance and then let my boss know about it. Most of the times you won't get a no, like if you have the right to holidays, unless it's a very like busy time of the year, which you'll know when you get busy at work. That's number one. And then number two, planning is key to budgeting for like, you know, a more cheap trip. And then also combine countries together. For instance, last year when I wanted to move back to Spain, I realized that a ticket from Melbourne to Madrid costed a bit more than a ticket from Melbourne to KL in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, and then from Kuala Lumpur to Madrid. So for the same price, I got to visit a new city. So I do a lot of combined trips. I think this is like one of the best advice I can give you is combine trips. My friend, she was trying to travel from Lyon to Fes in Morocco, so from France to Morocco, and the tickets were more expensive than if she took a flight from Lyon to Madrid and from Madrid to Morocco. So she gets to visit an extra country for less. So really for the same price, you're getting to see more places. That's my top advice, top traveling advice. I think I covered the most asked questions, and yeah, I hope you have a lovely week ahead of you and that you enjoyed this video. And please, please, please subscribe if you liked it or if you like the idea of the channel. And yeah, see you mis amigos.